Hello, my friends. I am out on my back porch, and it's been 11 days since we checked in on this oblong planter that I've turned into a worm bin, and I am trying to get the worms to move over, move over, so I can harvest. And I have been, I started it about 18 days ago, and I went in after a week, and I will tell you real quick that I was able to harvest a section. I don't see anybody under there, but I was able to harvest a section, and then I went back after 11 days, and we revisited this, and I moved that section over, and then I harvested some more, and moved it over. And so this is like 18 days old, and this is like 11 days old. But I keep thinking I'll just keep moving along. So back over here, the last time we were in, I actually had the banana split that I made for them, and it really produced a nice little worm ball. They looked like they were very happy in there, and so we're gonna. We did have the hurricane. That's in my defense. We did have a hurricane 7 days ago, and I'm still cleaning up. And if you have ever been in a hurricane or any major storm, it's really not fun. And what seems like it's going to be just a couple-day cleanup. Look what those are. Look at those. They look just like cocoons. What do you know? If you've ever been in a hurricane or any major storm, anything like that, it's really not fun. And and see, there's some worms under there hiding. What seems like it's going to take a day or 2 days, you kind of get pooped out, and you go, okay, well, I'll get to that tomorrow, or oh, this doesn't look that bad, I'll put it off for a bit. Anyway, I wanted to see, I had given them another bunch of food and what have you, so I wanted to see if they were still working on it. What are you doing in there, wormies? I thought if I packed everything right about here, I might get a better idea of what I have. I don't know if you can see that. We put you down here and bring you right here. Does that seem like you can see maybe just a little better? I don't really see much in the way of food. It's like they are really working on it. Of course, like I said, it has been 11 days. But there's a lot of worms. They're not worm balling, but they seem to be in the vicinity. And I kind of want to move that away. There's something. Lots of worms. And they look happy. Look at those little smiles. I know you can see them. Hello, wormies. In my last video that I did this morning, and I put it out on, and it was about the aloe, and giving them aloe vera, and I think they really seem to be going for it. That and the Moringa. Oops. Keep hitting my camera here, my tripod. So let me do this. Let me show you what I'm going to do. I've gotten something This is my, let me take you back. My Drake elm has these beautiful little leaves, and they're really tiny. I mean, look at how small that leaf is in comparison to my finger. I mean, that's, you know, normally your finger is an inch here. Barely, you know, just an inch by maybe a third of an inch wide. So what I want to do is I want to put some of the leaves in with this, and to act, instead of using shredded cardboard, I'm going to put that in there. And I'm actually going to try and take some of the leaves and put them in the toilet paper roll, just to see if the worms will go, ooh, that looks like a fun place to be. I won't stack it too. There's one, and here's the other. See if we come back and there's anybody living in here, like it's a, hey Mom, we're living in the basement. There's that one. And there's that one. Okay, those are empty. I mean, you know. The other thing I'm going to do is, I've had this in the pantry. I'm ashamed to say I don't even know how many years old it is. Best if used by, 2017. So it's 5 years old. And my husband said, I'm not eating those. And he's the Cheerio guy. So anyway, I said, well, you know, waste not, want not. So I just opened it now, and I took one and chomped on it and thought, well, it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it, until about 5 seconds into chewing on it, and all of a sudden it's like if there was any chemical flavors, they were now at the back of my throat. So the worms are getting it. I hope they like it. I have 2 of them. Anyway, that's the Cheerios. This, I had kind of what I thought was a good idea. My Moringas, you know, I told you guys that I went out and before the hurricane, I went and topped all my Moringas because I knew that the hurricane would just take them right down. And I did, and I topped those, and the leaves that were really green and beautiful, well, they got dried and they got pulverized, and those are for human consumption. And all the stems and the little twigs and what have you that went along, I put those in the NutriBullet, and they kept coming and getting caught up underneath the blades. So I thought, gee, I wonder if I could create a grit. I'm sorry, if I could create a gizzard outside a gizzard. So I thought, well, what if I took in my spice blender, my little spice grinder, and so I took eggshell and these little moringa twigs and what have you, and I put them together, figuring that what was the eggshell would grind up this, and lo and behold, look at this, it has. I mean, it hasn't made it a powder, but it's done pretty well, and you can see can you see the powder going off? Can you see that powder? Here, let me just do this. You can see that powder lifting, can't you? Okay, so anyway, that's my brilliant thought, was if you have something that you're trying to grind down from the worms, and it doesn't want to grind down, add eggshells to it, and the rubbing together will work like a charm. And then, you know, I love making these special treats for the worms. This is, aren't I getting artistic? This is frozen, but it is a banana peel, and then this is Moringa, and this is Moringa that has been put through the NutriBullet. It doesn't want to come apart. And this one, though, is a little gooey because I just put them in there. And then strawberry tops. So I'm going to try and nestle that in here, and that should add plenty of liquid down on the whole thing. And since we already have our, remember this is already our grit, you know, because it has eggshell in it, we don't really need to add any more. I am going to add just a few more leaves to it, just in case there's anything. And I want to see how the leaves do, because Sandra over at Nana's Worms, she's in Vancouver anyway, she's always bragging about her Canadian maple leaves, so I have to outdo her by adding a little of my Florida Drake elm leaves from my front yard. Anyway, she adds leaves to hers, and she has great results. So with that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've added everything. Can't see anything else I'm supposed to add. And with that, we're going to go ahead and just add this back on here and let those worms just collect. And I have to tell you that the second time, whoops, there, go in there. The first time I'm going to take my gloves off so I can talk to you. The first time I did the shred 18 days ago, and I tried to move things out. This, of course, was all the soil was, castings and soil were over here. So I kind of was taking parts of it off, and I had I just had a Folgers empty container, and as I was taking them off, I was throwing the worms over. Well, there were quite a few worms. I must tell you, there were quite a few worms. Now, after I fed them the banana split, I noticed that as I moved it, you know, tried to get another section and tried to see how many worms would be in there, there were far less worms in that section. So that was a real easy clean out. And then I moved it over, and now I have the 2 sections. So I'm hoping that after a few days now, they haven't had anything to eat. I couldn't find anything in there. So Anne over at Plant Obsessed, she's really a great worm lady also. And she said day 7 is about the sweet spot, you know, where the worms really are you know, really congregating and what have you. So I'm hoping that after 7 days I can come back and I can take another section and clean it out and have even less worms and make it an easier job. So anyway, that was all, and I hope this helps anybody who is thinking about having worms. They really are a fun hobby. I mean, I have to say, we really are well, I am anyway. I'm having a good time doing it, and Rick is going along with it. So it's always nice to have your partner, your spouse, go along with things. It makes it a more fun deal. And I figure by the time I am about halfway across here, I'm guessing that I'm going to probably start some worms in here, or this is going to start breaking down a little bit more than I can see this. I don't see any worms in here. Like I said, it's only been 18 days, and why would they come over here when they have, you know, banana splits and all kinds of stuff? But I'll bet after a certain period of time, I'm going to start digging down and seeing more, seeing some worm. Oh wait, I just saw something move. Did you see something move? Huh. All right. Oh, there it is. Buddy, what are you doing over here? Don't you know that there's a banana split over here? Here, let me just lay you right there. Trust me, you'll love it. Anyway, I will start breaking this down and making it more usable. So anyway, that was it. appreciate those of you who stayed for the whole show. and um, and I hope you'll ring the bell and subscribe and come back and see me again. And in the meantime, I hope you guys are all having a great day this Thursday last week. Uh, it was not so pretty back here. So we survived and the yard survived. Things are changing and it's getting to be fall. And I'll take you on a little tour soon of what I've replanted in the backyard. Take care, everybody, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.